The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
Welcome, one and all. The Nintendo Shack is back, packing a bigger punch than Mighty Bomb Jack, more vicious than your mama when she gives you a smack, more royal than a panther who just happens to be black. I should probably stop. It is I, your host, Kevin, and we are back in the Nintendo Shack. Jason is here, so have no fear. Even though I get to host, he gets a little break today. Jason, how we doing?
I love it. I love being able to go and autopilot and I can just hang out and be here and not have to do all the stuff and be all hosty McGuyerson and all that stuff. Kevin, welcome back.
Thank you, sir. I will say it's nice of Donnie to let me to stretch my legs and host something for once. It's good to work all that out. Speaking of which, the boss is here. Donnie, how we doing?
Greetings, Koobalings! I'm excited, Kevin. I'm excited about tonight's show. I'm excited to have you here. I'm happy to see PSVG Princess Caroline back in the shack. I'm excited that
somebody left the door open and she kind of just wandered in. I don't know. You guys gotta close that thing.
No.
That hinge, man.
Girls are allowed.
Oh, there you go. No rascals for here. I beat Wind Waker this weekend or this week. I've been playing Wii U for days. I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited. It's been a blast.
Fair enough. So, Caroline, how are we doing now that we've picked on you enough?
I'm fine. Are we talking about what we were playing? Were we going that way already? Or
I wasn't planning on it, but go ahead.
Okay, I haven't been playing much. I've been doing Pokemon Ultra Moon still, and I've been waiting for 1.3.0 on Xenoblade 2 to drop, and they said it would be tonight. It's still not tonight, and I bet when they say tonight, it means 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific, meaning I'm going to be asleep.
Well, I mean, it is tonight, so it's not tonight.
I mean, don't worry. It's going to take you 40 hours to beat anyway, so I mean, right?
It's probably
no, because everything, I just got to play through story again. Anyway, nothing new this week, really.
So, hang on. I'm going to Rochambeau here a little bit. Because I brought this up, Kevin, while you were away, but my audience wasn't the best audience. I have the best audience here. You guys hear about the miraculous story that I was able to use my In and ID again? That not only did I buy a second Wii U, I have obtained all purchases amassed over that entire generation and have re-downloaded them all. Come on. This is the Nintendo Shack. What a glorious occasion. Nothing? Nothing from the audience here, man. You guys are peanuts tonight. What? It's amazing. It was an incredible achievement.
But I already know all this. I can't. You want me to give a full reaction?
I thought it was great.
Old games old. Nobody cares. I get it. Old games old.
No, what it is because it's expected with pretty much every other console.
True.
So while it is miraculous for Nintendo, it totally is. It's something we kind of would have expected to be resolved. And honestly, I forgot about the whole scenario until you brought it up and said, "Hey guys, by the way, I got all my stuff back." In my head, I was like, "When did he lose it?" But yeah.
I kind of wonder who's out there playing my games on my Wii U.
Who signs in? Right? The old In and ID is Flexa, or was that what you were?
Yeah, that was my In and ID. I have it on my 3DS, obviously, but not on the old Wii U.
Don't merge them.
Nope, I ripped everything's apart. Everything's ripped apart. I did briefly connect it to the Switch to do the friend search, and then I disconnected it again.
So, Jason, have you been playing anything on the Switch?
Owlboy? Yeah, I've been playing that. Owlboy and Brawlout. I still like it. And
I see you pop on Brawlout all the time.
Yeah, that's my jam still. And then not as much Owlboy as I like, but I got sucked into it last weekend, and Saturday night I was like, I'll stream a little Brawlout because I got my Elgato situation all worked out and I can stream games now. And I was like, okay, I've played that enough. Let's do some Owlboy. And then 2.5 hours later, I was like, oh, it's 2 a.m. I really need to go to bed because I have an 11-month-old that is going to wake up in 4 hours. So that happened, but I kind of really echo everything that you kind of said on PSVG, Donnie. Really, I mean, haven't put as much time into that game as I want, but it's a really good game, a gorgeous game. I love the animation in that is fantastic, and the sprite work. But
One of
beyond
the prettiest
that,
games on Switch, man. One of the prettiest games on Switch. At some point, I'll get back to it. I put it down for Bayonetta 2, and I beat that, and then I did my whole Wii U escapade, and now I'm just having a blast, like just playing all these old games. I don't know if I'll ever get back to Old Boy. Poor Old Boy.
The chat is lighting up right now, apparently, about my glasses.
well, we are the old and young version of the same man.
Apparently,
So,
who is
the young?
I don't know what to think of that because
who's the young version? Who's the old version?
Well,
I'm the young version because I have my hip hat on.
Which I have the same hat. I should have wore the hat because that would have blown people's minds.
I figured you were going to, and I was like, this is going to be awkward.
but it's funny because they're both saying I'm like Clark Kenting hard right now. So apparently now I finally understand after all this time how Supergirl and Superman can just wear glasses and apparently nobody recognizes them. But I don't know. It is what it is. So back to Switch games. So for me, I was on the road last week, as you guys know, in Virginia for an entire week. So all I had to play games on with was my Switch, in fact. So I did beat Night in the Woods finally. I did play the extras.
Ooh, is it worth it?
No, don't bother.
Okay.
It's a bunch of Constellation games that just tell more stories.
Those were the worst.
Isn't the one in Extra 2? It's like basically the test
it was the Kickstarter rewards to show that they were doing something.
We can't say that. We don't know. Yeah.
Okay, it's a Switch. I did not play Old Man's Journey.
I will not play that after what Donnie shared. I have no desire to play that. I
and saw it was like a pointer, and not in the good way like Thimbleweed Park did. And I was just like, nope, closed it down. Booted up Resident Evil Revelations 2 though. So I did play the first one on the 3DS. Never got around to the second one. I will tell you that it looks pretty darn good on the Switch. Like I'm impressed with how good it looks on the Switch. I mean, it's not PS4, Xbox One quality, but it looks really, really good.
Do you play motion controls?
I don't play motion controls on anything. Are you crazy? I will say though, I did play mostly docked because undocked, it almost felt, and I think I heard Kyle talking about this a little bit. I think, or somebody was talking about with Bayonetta, how it seems to be too big of a game for the small screen. I'm getting kind of the same vibe from the Resident Evil. Like there's just too much going on to absorb in that tiny screen. So I preferred playing it on the TV, but I did do both. Controls work fine. It's, not your new Resident Evil 7 style. It is the clunky, third person over the shoulder version, but it plays well. Decent story so far. You play as four different characters so far, two different pairs kind of telling the same story from different perspectives. But it has a different twist to Resident Evil, whereas one character is your classic, run and gun, I'm the hero, and then they always have a companion with them that is more the sneaking around and can kind of stealth attack things and actually get you perspectives to see enemies before they're coming too. So it's a lot of switching back and forth. So far, at least in an interesting way for me. So got it last week or 2 weeks ago on the sale that was on. So it was definitely cool, definitely worth it. Almost made me regret not buying the first one again while it was on sale, but I might go back and do that too. But it's very, very cool. But that's it for me on Switch. So speaking of Switch, though, tonight's main subject is we are rapidly approaching the 1-year anniversary of the Nintendo Switch.
He's denying you, Donnie. He's denying you.
Oh, sorry. I'm not looking at the video.
Donnie's proper. Donnie always raises his hand. You know this.
Okay, so Donnie, I'm going to warn you now. I have in front of me this way the screen that shows the YouTube feed, so I can watch the comments. But obviously, it's behind.
You should put
the
them
screen
on
where the
screen.
camera is actually no, because then it messes up. So my other screen is here to the side where I'm looking now. So now I'm looking at you. So unless I'm doing that, I'm not paying attention. But anyway,
I got you. I have a question that I want to ask directly to you.
Ooh.
I played the first area of Mario, Paper Mario Color Splash.
Yes.
Beautiful game. That's the best. That's the most beautiful game on Wii U. Period. I mean, I know that's old news, but all right. Here's the thing. Nope. That is. I do not like coloring the cards. Like, I don't understand why I have to color the card before I can play the card.
No, you don't have to. It makes it stronger if you do.
But my question was really like, does it, like, if I stop doing it and keep playing, can I finish the game, or is that
you can? It's just your attack's gonna be weaker. So
I don't understand why that's a thing. It seems it's
redundant,
tedious.
but it didn't bother me that much.
All right, that's it. I did want to ask because I was played the first area and I was like, why do I have to color the card? Like I'm all fine for coloring the level, but like
It's totally redundant. I get it, but it does matter. Your attacks are stronger if you do it. If you don't have to. It'll just be weaker. You're going to go through more cards. Not that had ever been a problem for me, I think, at any point. I always had plenty of cards. It just may not be the cards you want, or you may end up kind of wasting your really good cards by not painting them. So
I gotcha.
Yeah. Nice of you to play a game that came out 2 years ago.
Hey, man, I've been playing all kinds of games that came out 2 years ago. I like halfway through Runner 3. I beat Zelda Wind Waker HD again. God, I love that game. What a gorgeous, beautiful
fast.
experience.
That was really fast.
2 days, 2.5. You count. It was. I was sick. It was Sunday night. I started around 5. I played all day Monday. Played all day Tuesday. And just love every bit of it. I went back to the old Hyrule under the. I've got so many thoughts that are going to come to a podcast later. I don't want to impose too much. Caroline knows. We got something cooking.
Yes, I know.
Apparently, Jason, I'm your Super Saiyan form. Because the hair.
What's your power level, though?
I believe it's over 9,000.
Oh, no.
Fair enough.
We can't say that's trademarked by a different show. But as I was saying, we're rapidly approaching the 1-year anniversary of the Nintendo Switch. So we wanted to make tonight all about that and talk about the past, present, and future of Nintendo's probably, arguably, the most groundbreaking console they've ever released. So let's go back to the big unveiling, the big price release, the big, hey, you'll be able to pre-order thing, which took place in January of last year. I remember because I was in Disney at the time, dying from bronchitis and walking pneumonia. But I still managed to watch it from a Disney hotel as I was dying. What, if you guys recall, what were your initial impressions during that event? I believe that was also the first time we got to see Karen up on the rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Can't forget Karen. So what were your thoughts when you finally got to see the full picture format, what the Switch was, what its capabilities were, the portability, the Joy-Cons? Caroline, impressions from January.
Actually, I think that video came out before the January thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was teased before like late 2016.
Yeah, there was the.
But anyway,
there was the unveiling in October, but yeah.
That video, I mean, I was mind blown over that. And the January thing, though, I remember sitting and watching and literally just waiting for Zelda. That was the main thing that I wanted. And I was reduced to tears by the end of the Zelda trailer that they played at the end, because at the end, as we know, 3/3/27 was launch, and that was like the biggest thing for me out of that January showcase that they did.
Fair enough. Jason, sir, your thoughts?
I was just, I guess what I take away from it the most is just I was just happy to finally see it. We've had so much rumors and artists' interpretations and breakdowns of patents and all this stuff that, what is it? What is it going to be? And it was just cool to finally actually see the system and did we always know March was the launch date? I can't even remember.
I don't think so. I think when they said in January, that's when they announced the release date, the price, and when you can pre-order.
Yeah, it was just cool to finally already get that stuff and just to see what it was capable of. That it is a portable system that you can dock and play at home and all this. That was awesome to finally have concrete details. Especially with Nintendo, the internet runs rampant and rumors swirl and extrapolate and expand and run rampant. So it was just awesome to finally have that and to take part of it with such an avid community of people at this one time. It was just a really cool experience.
Yeah, I remember the live chat we had going on as it was going on. I popped in and kind of read you guys' thoughts afterwards because I wasn't able to watch it live, and kind of seeing all the reaction. It was pretty crazy. So, Donnie, sir, last but certainly not least.
I remember that Zelda trailer more. I mean, I remember the Karen trailer and that little music. Yeah, that was cool. I listened to like our live reaction show today. I was like, in preparation of this, I just kind of went back in time and listened to like our Zelda reactions and just that kind of stuff. It was a pretty fun time back in the day. It's crazy. I'm sure we'll get into it. Like the things we were worried about before this thing came out, it's like just don't even seem like they're even an issue anymore. 1 year later, yeah, just 1 year. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I remember I listened to me like apparently being very excited. The fact that I kept proclaiming that Nintendo, was finally developing for one system and not two, and like how much more software and how many more games that would mean for the system. Apparently that was a big point for me.
All right, fair enough. So let's jump to the actual release of the console. So when did you guys get it? Was it day one? And probably more importantly, what did you purchase in that first initial investment? I'll go first here on this one. So I got the Switch, courtesy of Seth, who helped hook that up. So much appreciated there. With that, I did buy Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I was shanghaied into purchasing Mario Kart again, mainly because all you guys were doing it. I was like, I don't want to be left out, so I bought that. Unfortunately, bought 1-2 Switch. And then I think Shovel Knight was the only other thing I purchased at launch, if I recall. And the only one I regret is 1-2 Switch. So that's just me. Jason, what did you pick up on your launch day?
Well, I remember I snagged a pre-order through Best Buy after waffling repeatedly, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I probably had 3 or 4 different, pre-orders in my cart at one point, but I got it through Best Buy. I had it shipped to my house. I just had Zelda to start with because, I'm a cheap guy and that never have a lot of a gaming budget. So, I sold my Wii U to help fund the Switch and have some extras. So I was like ultra conservative of what games I was going to have. So I think I only had Zelda up until Mario Kart release. I think that was my second game. Unless I take that back. I did get Shovel Knight shortly after that came off, and like fell in love with Treasure Trove. So I had Zelda keep me busy for several months, and then Shovel Knight, and then
Fair enough. So Donnie, we know you got Zelda, the big box collection, if I recall.
That's right.
What else did you pick up?
I bought everything. I think I bought everything but Blaster Master. I still haven't bought Blaster Master. I really did. More importantly, that's where I met Caroline. Like, that's it. And the funny thing of listening back to that pre-order show that we had, I talk about Caroline. Like, if you go back, it was me, Jason.
Oh, really? I need to go listen.
It was me, Jason, and Bobby, Nintendo Guru. We were talking about our launch experiences, and I was like, hey, guys, I met this girl. And I kind of talked her into it, and she said she wanted to write. Go figure. She told me
emojis. There was heart emojis over Donnie's eyes.
That's true. I was like, at the time, I was like, she said she wants to write, but not podcast. It's like one blog and 18 podcasts later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's where we met. Like, we shared a connection at a GameStop, a local manager who was great, who has since left us both.
Yes.
And I mean,
He died?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Kevin. No.
Wow. He left us both.
He left GameStop after many, many years. I mean, I'd known this GameStop manager for like almost a decade. And I mean, I pre-ordered his store. I got a gift card. As soon as they went live, I called him, gave him the PIN code. He bought everything I needed. And then I walked in, and he'd it was actually kind of funny because Caroline were like first and second in line, right? Close.
Yeah, you were number
3?
1, and I was number 2, I think.
And
number 2.
When I came in, I saw him because he and I were supposed to like get dinner and everything. And he was like, "Man, you gotta meet this girl." And he's like, "I'm telling you, you guys would be friends." And like, I came in like, because we're all kind of like in a line, right? You kind of line up, and I sit down, and she's like kind of sitting there, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And she's like, "Yeah, what's up?" And we've talked about it before. It's like it's weird when you talk to like another video gamer about video games, right? Like there's always like the awkward intro. It's like, you like video games? Yeah. Like you don't really like get into it. And
Zelda looks pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I'm so excited. Zelda. That was totally me, yeah.
There was like that little girl that was there. Right, and she kept running around, and like she had like a 3DS.
No, that was Caroline. That was Caroline.
No, it was
no. There was a little girl that like I was the only other girl there.
Yeah, so she kept hanging around Caroline.
There's a girl here, and I'm like, okay, how sweet.
So, but the long story short, I mean, we were both there at like 4 in the afternoon, so we spent 8-9 hours together that night, and like and eventually over time we started talking. I love Fire Emblem. I love Fire Emblem. You're like, Zelda. Oh my god, I love Zelda. We started talking about Wind Waker and everything. And like, it didn't take me maybe 3 hours into it, and I was like, "This girl is perfect." is what I've been searching for. Do you want to come? And like the weird, you know what's weirder than like broaching a new video gamer? It's being like, hey, you want to join my podcast? That is a creepy thing to say to somebody.
It's like, join my harem.
You know, and I got like, you know, me, Kevin knows me better than most. I was like, you know, I got super overzealous. I was like, we need a girl. We need a girl so bad.
That is very true.
Yeah, and then who was your friend that was there, Caroline? The other guy.
That's Brandon. He was actually like, I met him through Micah too. Micah was our GameStop
So Brandon was
manager.
like, I want to do it, and I was like, no, I don't need you. I need Caroline.
Brandon actually ended up going to work there. Did you know that?
I did not. That's amazing.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, long story short, that's I kind of planted the seed, and I even had to recruit her for like 8 weeks after that. Like months.
No, you have to
went by.
understand. You have to understand. The week after, I was sitting March 2nd. Today's March 1st, so we're like 2 days away. March 2nd, I was sitting there. March 11th, I was getting married and going on a cruise for a week for a honeymoon. So on top of that, I was getting my new apartment. I was coming back, and I mean, it was like a 2-month thing of me getting settled into a new life and all this stuff. So while he was sending me emails like, hey, you still interested? Hey, still interested? I was literally
I
like,
didn't give up, guys.
barely even checking my email.
I mean, that lasted like all the way into the winter. I was like,
Hey, it's
just
Donnie
saying.
again. You know that guy from GameStop, and just checking in.
I'm just saying. You
You're not a
said
little
you were
creepy. It's
interested.
okay.
You said you might be interested. It's, you know, I offered to buy her a mic. How weird is that? You know, she's like, I don't know if I was like, I'll buy your microphone.
Your mic. Let's go.
You put out a
Like, no,
misconnection
okay.
ad in Craigslist to the girl I met in GameStop.
It's similar experience.
Oh boy.
Well, he kind of took everything about my experience. The only things I got, like Jason, was I got the Master Edition, so I got the big pretty box sitting up on my shelf still. But I pre-ordered Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I bought a Pro Controller, and I brought one of those little travel cases, and I think I bought an extra pair of Joy-Cons or something. And Donnie took my story. God.
We both
Fair
walked
enough.
out of there with like ridiculous bags. Like we were 1 and 2,
Oh, yeah, I had,
and I
like-
feel
I
like
had,
they
like,
escorted
3
us
big
out.
bags.
Yeah, like we walked out with just every amiibo, just tons of like everybody was looking at
Oh,
us.
yeah, I got all of the Breath of the Wild amiibo, too. I forgot.
Yep.
It took me a year to get a travel case, and that's just because somebody took pity on me. So,
Oh, really?
but my T-shirt backpack combo was pretty solid. I have to say that thing held up. I got no scratches on that Switch.
That's right. I forgot you did that. That's true.
That's right.
Yeah, the two of you guys walked out of GameStop with a whole bunch of bags, and one person slightly more
Right.
humiliated than the other.
Hey, since we're talking about the launch, a quick disclaimer. Apparently, if you bought a game, if you have any of the launch games, you have until March 4th to register them for My Nintendo if you haven't already.
Oh, that's important.
Because
Oh.
apparently that's how their system works. If a game points need to be claimed within 1 year of the game's original release date.
So you can get those wallpapers. Hurry up.
Yeah.
They need to be claimed and used then within the first year, basically. Once
Yeah.
you claim them, you have a year to use them again. So
I think
I've
so.
never even put them in. I've
Well-
never linked them with my account.
oh,
Well, don't worry because eventually, they just give the stuff out in
That's
emails.
true. I mean, I'll send you a copy of the wallpaper.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
I got
that you
the
could just
email,
Google
too.
anyway.
We'll get to that later more. I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
what
we have some
what a
comments about-
Bojangles system.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the games that came out this whole first year. So we think back, and I mean, there was an unbelievable lineup. So we know we had the Zelda, we know we had Mario Kart. ARMS came out to some good reactions and decent sales especially for a new IP.
Mhm.
Splatoon 2 came out, Mario and Rabbids, Super Mario Odyssey, Fire Emblem Heroes. What else am I missing off the top of my head?
Fire Emblem Warriors, Fire Emblem Heroes is
Sorry.
for mobile.
You're right. Golf Story.
There you go.
All story.
Snipper
I wasn't
clips.
on to indies yet, but yes, you're right. So we had Golf Story. We had I mean, it was a huge
There's a lot
lineup.
there.
So yeah, a ton there, and who knows what they're going to be able to pull out for 2018. So with the software, what were your big wins and big losses you think out of what you actually purchased? So not what you didn't purchase. So tell me what you bought, what you absolutely loved, and what you bought and kind of wish you didn't, if there was anything.
Ooh.
Donnie, you first.
You can go to me first as I check my library.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too.
Good call. I'm going to do that 3.
Well, I'm checking my profile. I played Zelda Breath of the Wild for over 250 hours. Absolutely adore that game. It's probably my favorite Zelda game of all time. It's at there at the very top list of my favorite game of all time. So that's an absolute win. I've played Fire Emblem Warriors for over 70 hours. Also an absolute win. I love the Warriors games. Good game. I mean, Golf Story I've went on and on and on and on and on and on about. I think Golf Story is still probably top 10, top 7, top 6 Switch game for me. The entire library considered. I adore it for everything that it is and like how unique it is and how many, like, there's just nothing like it or like really out there. And especially as an exclusive, you know, that's a console exclusive. That hasn't come anywhere else yet. People should be excited about that. The ones that I feel I got burned on, let's see here. That mini golf game, I still to this day really hate that I ever bought that game. It really upsets me that I even paid for that game, because that game was bad. That was not a good video game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've got some, and this might just be new, but I've got some regret for that that Old Man's Journey. I was excited for it, and it's not even just the control system. And the control system is a little wonk, but even the storytelling doesn't really live up to what
I had no idea what kind of game it was until you got it. Hey, since we're all looking at the profiles, what does it mean when the game, like when your playtime is in teal?
What? In teal?
Teal.
Like, yeah, so like certain, teal or turquoise. Like just a couple of my games, like Splatoon 2, it's in color. Zelda is in a color.
I don't have anything in color.
But none of my other games are.
Oh, I see what you're saying. He's saying in the played for so many hours or more, it's in teal.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Mine are in teal. So
I guess it's probably like your top 5, because all of mine are pretty high.
Oh, so I only have 2 that are doing that. Maybe it's because those are both over 100 hours.
That must be because I don't have 100 hours in.
I've got Mario Kart 8, Zelda, Splatoon, and Fire Emblem Warriors all over 80 hours, all teal.
Okay, maybe it's that then. I literally don't have anything in teal.
So they must have a threshold, the playtime threshold, and then it does that.
You know, and another great one that we got was Grateful Explosion Machine. I know Jason and I got wrapped up in that one for at least a good 4 weeks. Grateful Explosion Machine.
I need to go back into that and beat all Kyle's scores sometime.
I mean, yeah, that is a really, really, really good one. And yeah.
Sorry, Kyle.
I can't imagine. Oh, you know, Sonic Mania. I really super excited that first month about Sonic Mania, and it's really good, but it might not be as good as I you know.
Yeah.
Like now that I've got some time away from it, I'm like, you know, it's kind of losing a little luster for me.
Yeah.
Still good.
That makes sense. So it's funny. So Zelda, I have 40 hours in. That's it.
Oh my god!
How many hours did you play Odyssey?
Odyssey was 10 hours.
Yeah, I played it for like 15 hours. Yeah.
Like I cleaned it up in those 2 days on the cruise. I beat Mario Odyssey from start to finish.
Have any of you guys done the balloon mode?
I don't have the game anymore. I traded.
No, not yet.
I have zero interest.
I don't even know how to boot the game up. So
Caroline, me and you are not going to agree on Odyssey. I mean, it's fine. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's got the Horizon thing for me.
But it's a great game. I would never trade it in though. That's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as I buy something, like I've never traded in a game, and I think it goes back to what we were talking about the week before last or whatever. That have you ever had a moment where nostalgia?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And my parents sold my stuff without telling me. I think like it goes back to that where I have to hold on to everything. Physical.
I got that feeling. I don't think I'm ever going to want to play Odyssey again. Like if they dropped a brand new, if they dropped like a brand new World Tomorrow DLC, I still wouldn't buy it.
No, I think like give it like 2 years, you'll be like, I could go back and play that again. I feel like
maybe if like if it goes on sale and I pick it up for like $15, true. You might. That you know what I mean. So
he's gonna find a way to acquire it, trade it, flip it, spin it, swap it.
I traded in this copy of Golf Story and a broken hairdryer, guys, and I got Mario Odyssey again. So all right. So for me, I mean, Zelda's a highlight. I think for all 4 was probably here in this
I
thing.
think that's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the other ones that may not be on people's radars that I really enjoyed on the Switch. I'm talking only Switch exclusives. Obviously, Splatoon 2, I love that.
Yeah.
So no regrets, no purchases there. And Mario & Rabbids, absolutely love that game.
Oh,
that was a great game.
Yeah.
Such a great surprise.
I need to try the DLC on that.
Is it out yet? The Donkey Kong didn't come, did it? Right?
I haven't done any of that stuff yet. I didn't purchase it, but I should.
It's not out yet? Okay, then good.
I didn't think it was. I don't know. Maybe we missed it.
I'm not sure. Yeah, you're right.
I don't think it's out yet.
Ping Jacob Rush. He'll be able to tell you.
That's true. Jacob. Let me raise the bat signal. I think I only have a few regrets as far as what I purchased. NBA Playgrounds. I think that's a given. That was a bad one. Although I will be happy when I get
Shaq
Shaq Fu. When I get Shaq Fu, I probably won't regret it anymore.
You know, I paid the $9.99 to unlock the whole game, and now that I've unlocked it, like, it's still not my favorite game, but now that I have access to everything that you should have access to the game, it's a little more tolerable. I don't feel like I've got to play it so much.
That's true. Blaster Master Zero was another one for me. It wasn't as good as I was hoping it was. The nostalgia didn't stick there on that one for me. But then the other big surprise that I did purchase and was happy with, Snipper Clips. That's a ton of fun. So that's me.
You know, I hated Bomberman.
Highlights and oh yeah, that's right, Bomberman.
Yeah.
You remember that game came out?
That was a launch.
That got greatly
title.
Improved though too, because at launch that game was kind of a stinker, and they really beefed that up quite a bit.
Yeah, I played it not too long ago at my friend's house, and they patched it up.
That's good to hear.
Now.
That's good.
So it's not bad for anybody picking it up now, but somebody who paid at launch, that's rough. So Jason, some highlights and lowlights for you then.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Zelda, like we said. I would have to put in terms of other highlights, just because I hadn't played it before, would have been Shovel Knight, Blossom Tales. Like, most of my highlights are really indies because, like, the first party stuff you kind of knew was going to be, you knew going in it was going to be a success. So it's like the indies that surprised you, like Golf Story. We didn't know what kind of game that was going to be, and that was just a really charming, fun experience. And really beyond that, I can't really say. I don't really feel like I got a stinker because I was just like, again, I was always stingy with my gaming budget. I saved money for my birthday, from Christmas. I still have money from birthday and Christmas that I use now to buy stuff with. And if I have to say one game, though, the game that I was most disappointed in, Mr. Shifty.
Ooh.
Like we knew kind of going in it was going to be a little questionable, but that game was just never performed well at all. And it was just a very limited mechanic. Really cool when it ran well and performed well. That game was really fun. You felt really cool to like I mean, it was basically what a Nightcrawler game would feel like. You know, it felt cool to teleport around and beat some thugs, but it was just a really disappointing experience. Beyond that, I mean, I'm looking here in my library, so I apologize if I'm.
I got one. Can I fill in while you look?
No.
I completely forgot. Snake Pass. I hated Snake Pass.
I think you're the only one person to play it, weren't you?
I was so upset that I bought that game like the day I bought it. Like, it didn't even take that long. I played the game for like an hour, and I was like, I don't ever want to play this again. Yeah, I was not a fan of that game, and that game got like a lot of buzz too. Got like a lot. It did.
It did. People enjoyed it. I just didn't have any inkling to jump on it. So, Caroline, you've been quiet. Anything?
I definitely didn't buy Snake Pass, and that's another story.
Well, I know that. But what were some of your highlights then?
My highlights, Zelda, duh. And you guys know
Zelda.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was like, I'd never played a Xenoblade game before.
Oh,
and
wow.
I've played that game more than I've played Breath of the Wild.
I was about to say, you never played one before.
You
went
how hyped you were about that game. I would expect you'd played one before.
Was, well, I went ahead and bought Xenoblade for the Wii based off of my experience with this one because I was so excited about it. Oh. I have X that I've never touched because I knew I was going to eventually touch it. But it was probably the best experience I've had with the Switch thus far. And I know you guys are very ill against it. That's and everything, but
don't blame them. That's just me.
This is my kind of
It's literally just Donnie, so.
Yeah, I've never played a Xenoblade, so I can't comment.
Okay. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's everything I could ask for in a JRPG. And I really hope that they keep the game mechanic of the blades and the drivers going forward with other Xenoblade games. I think it really works. Aside from that, Mario and Rabbids definitely was like a shocking, oh my God, it's like you're afraid what's going to happen to the IP, and they killed it. Fire Emblem Warriors. And I think my disappointments would be, remember I was into the Yono and the Celestial Elephants, like the really adorable elephant game. It's terrible. I mean, like, it's so cute. It's really cute, but it's 5 hours and not worth your $15.
See, I have it, but I haven't played it yet either, so that's sad.
And also ARMS. Like, I was really into ARMS in the beginning and stuff, and I was like, oh, they're going to be releasing new characters, but it got old very, very quickly. And it's just one of those things that
I think we all wanted to like ARMS except for Kevin. I remember Kevin was pretty.
We really did.
Kevin was really salty on ARMS.
The Japanese players got good too quick. That was the problem. And then every time you'd go online, you just lose. That's what sucked.
Unless you were Jason.
Yeah. I never went back to it though. I mean, as cool as big as I was into it, I just never went back to it.
True.
I bought Golf Story, but I haven't played it.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Carol.
That's your next game.
It needs to be. It really does.
You need to play it right away.
I know it's not exclusive, but it really got me back into Stardew Valley. Like I've played 2 playthroughs on the Switch version.
Valley, yeah.
Wow.
So,
My daughter's like 50 hours into that game.
I'm probably like 15 hours into that. I go back to it every once in a while.
I will get that eventually. I will say probably the last thing I would want to add is that Brawlout has shown me that when Smash comes to this eventually, I'm done. I'm like, that's all I'm gonna ever play again. It's good. I mean,
how is the patch? Is the patch working? I haven't played it since the patch.
I mean, it's better. I mean, it's still
still bad.
I mean, it's better now because at least you can pick your region for matchmaking. So typically, I don't have any of those like slow motion matches. And if you do get a bad connection, like when you connect to your opponent, as soon as you get matched with someone, it gives you a color indicator of the connection quality. So if it's a bad match, you can just back right out of it immediately.
That's not bad.
But,
cool.
I mean, people are still playing it, so
it's true. That's true. All right, so let's move on because we're running a little short on time here. The hardware itself. Now that we've had our grubby little paws on it for a year.
Yep.
All right, I'll go first on this one. I will say, despite the battery issues I had during Zelda, remember I was saying like my battery's dying a lot quicker than you guys? I haven't had that with any other game. So maybe it was just Zelda. Maybe there was a patch behind the scenes, whatever. That's fine. So I'm happy with that. I will say I'm luckily not getting any of the warping that people talk about it from being in the dock. But I will say, and I know Donnie has a resolution to this, I do not like the feeling anymore of playing it handheld with the Joy-Cons. It feels like the Joy-Cons are going to break. And when that happens, I'm like, what is my Switch not going to work? Like, is the pieces going to be stuck on it? Like, it just feels kind of loose. Yeah, I want something tighter.
Those grips would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for that's the only thing that's disappointing in the hardware. I think what we're seeing as far as games coming out there, we're seeing good quality games. We're seeing good graphics. Much like in the vein of what GameCube did, we don't see a ton of hyper realism, but we're seeing beautiful things done with a cartoony aspect, like Wind Waker, stuff like that kind of stylized, where some beautiful games are coming out and really capitalizing on what the Switch is capable of doing without trying to go over the top and make it look bad. Now, I will say I haven't played Skyrim or anything like that. So
Skyrim looks great. And so does Doom looks good. Doom looks passable. Like, you would get into Doom, like, even you, if you've seen it played it somewhere else, you get in Doom, 15 minutes, you completely forget it. It looks, it looks good enough that you don't even bother. Skyrim, on the other hand, actually is impressive. You put Skyrim on the Switch and you like stop and stare at it. You bring it real close to your eyes. You're like, man, it looks really good. I mean, because it does. It looks really good in portable play. It looks amazing.
Excellent. All right, so what is everyone else's thoughts? We'll go to Caroline first. We made her wait so long for the games. On the hardware itself, any gripes, anything you really love, anything, your impressions a year in on the Switch?
I haven't had issues with, like, I've never felt like my Joy-Cons are going to break. I can honestly say that, but maybe I've got, like, a dainty little girl.
It's the man hands, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, my fingers, and I've got long fingers, but very small hands. But I'm just amazed at the fact that we've come this far, that we can have literally all of these little bitty chips in something with a screen that we can take with us, and 3DS has become obsolete. And you guys are making fun of me in the chat. Whatever.
I can't even see the chat, so
I'm just getting distracted. But yeah, I'm still hoping that the technology part continues to move forward. Like, the stuff that they've shown that's going to be possible with Labo, I think is a testament to what is going to be like pushing the capabilities of the HD Rumble on the Joy-Cons and stuff. That's going to be really neat to see.
I agree. Jason?
I haven't had any, I never had any of the dock scratching. I've had, or a lot of the weird issues that people reported. I never had the Joy-Con desync or that. So, I guess I got lucky there. I do agree with you. Like, I play a lot in handheld, but I do kind of wish there was something just a little more comforting to hold there instead of just that flat back. But I hate the thumbsticks on the Joy-Cons. I hate the thumbsticks so much. So I either need to get like the caps, like Donnie keeps telling me to do.
I have the caps too. I like them.
Yeah, and otherwise, I'd like to see a revision there, you know. And I guess the only other gripe I could have is just, I'm ready for something like some more advancements in the UI. Like the friends list is like, what's the point of it? You know, it's that there's no functionality with that, and the eShop is a mess. I mean,
yes,
they need to really find a better. Not so much that they need to curate it, but they just need to improve the navigation and give us better ways to browse
find
that.
Stuff. Yeah, it's true. Like before I went on my trip, I was trying to find some games. Like, hey, what should I buy? I have some credit. Let's use it up. And you know, not everything I necessarily wanted was going to be a new release.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't a top seller or it wasn't a new release, I had to know it by name to search for. Like that's a crappy system.
Because every time a new game comes out, that becomes the best seller, and it would push everything out. And unless you knew what game you specifically wanted, you could search for it. But there's no way you would just organically come across something and be like, oh, you know, I kind of want to check that out. But
it's a shame. Donnie, sir.
Hardware-wise, I'm good. The battery has never been an issue. I put a screen protector on it, so the dock was never an issue. Third-party accessories have come to make it better. I like the Joy-Cons. It's not a Joy-Con problem that I have. It's the way the Switch feels when you hold it in portable mode. I'm not sure what's the right term. It's the feel.
Ergonomics?
Ergonomic. It's not ergonomic. Yeah. It's not it's flat. I feel like you're just holding a board. You know, it's like it's flat. Yeah. There's nowhere to rest your hands, and like that's the problem. Now, I bought that grip that I tweeted about for a bunch. And it helps a lot because it's got grips that wrap around into the palm of your hand, so it holds better. It gives it some weight. That makes it a lot better. That said, when the Switch was announced a year ago, when we were talking a year ago, you know, I was so excited that this was a portable. You remember that? Like when the NX was shown, I was like, finally, a new portable to succeed the 3DS because I played 3DS so much. A year later, the Switch is like 75% a console for me. I don't play it portably unless I'm like away. Yeah, it's cool that I have the convenience to do it. Like when I went to Minneapolis, I played it on the plane. But daily, it sits in the dock. I don't bring it with me. I don't really consider it a portable. No, because I don't like playing that way. I
play tabletop a lot when I can.
Good. Yeah.
See, I don't think I've ever played tabletop, but I take it with me every day to work. I play it on lunch, but I play it in the handheld.
Yeah. I really want that. Who is it? Is it Nyko that makes that little stand that you can get for it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got that stand, but if you want it, I'll send it to you because I don't use it anymore. But I'll send it to you.
I want to ask it because I saw some people complain about this when it was announced in the SKU. Did you guys ever have an issue charging your Joy-Cons? Because some people, I remember, some people were really upset that we didn't get the Joy-Con, the charging grip,
they last
in the box. You know?
No.
Oh yeah.
You know, I bought one of those because we have 3 sets of Joy-Cons, all the kids and all that. So I bought one of those standalone chargers on Amazon that you just put the Joy-Cons in. It was like $6, dude. They last forever. They last for like a week on a charge.
I don't think I've ever. I think once I've ran my Pro controller to battery low one time, but I've never with the Joy-Cons. And I mean, and how hard is it just go? Oh, I'm done.
You know, the funny thing, because I listened to the podcast from a year ago, we spent so much time like arguing about the price of accessories. There was so much. I can't tell you like how many minutes of audio I listened to today going, I can't believe they're charging $80 for a dock. I can't believe they're charging $80 for a controller. This is insane. One Joy-Con costs $50, and it's like, I don't think anybody has any concerns about that at all. Like, third parties have filled in nicely. There is a ton of third-party controllers you can look at. Wired, wireless. If you don't want to spend that much, you don't have to. Charging things, accessories, grips like the ones that I bought, thumbsticks. I mean, like, docks. You know, you could buy a dock now from a third party for $30. I mean, there's so much of that. Yeah. I can't remember a console that had, like, that much support that fast. Like, it's still year one. It's still early. I think, didn't the PlayStation 4, Kevin, like, just get its first like wired controller, like branded, like official, like that little mini controller?
Does it? Yeah.
That's
I was trying to think if they even had one, but yeah, they do. Yeah.
I mean, so like we've got options out the wazoo. I think all of those hardware like worries went away. Yeah, I got no problem with the hardware, man. It's good. It's solid. It's a solid piece of tablet.
All right. So we're running tight on time. We got about 15 minutes left to go. So thinking on 2018, what we have already, and there's not a whole lot so far. It's in March, but what we know is coming, what we think may be coming. What are your hopes? What are you looking forward to in 2018 for Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch? Caroline, and I want an answer from your cat as well, because it just walked by on screen.
Shined. I know. That's Pippa. I was actually distracted by her. So the question.
All right, 2018
question was-
Nintendo Switch. What are you looking forward to, and what do you hope to see in 2018?
Looking forward to Fire Emblem, the actual RPG, not a Fire Emblem Warriors title. Hopefully, a Pokemon RPG, the dual release. I'm hoping for it in November. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me look at my list because I've got a list of stuff that I've got pre-ordered. Oh, okay. So it's an old game, but Shantae Ultimate Day 1 Edition is coming out at the beginning of April, and I've got that pre-ordered, waiting on that. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, again, an old game, but it's got everything on it. And hopefully I'm betting on it this year. Story of Seasons, which is the old Harvest Moon Bokujo Monogatari series.
Yep.
They've announced that they're actually developing something for Switch right now. So I need another farm game in my life. And oh yeah, Smash too. Smash is definitely going to come.
Fair enough. So for me, I only have 2 games pre-ordered for the Switch so far that we know are coming and not too far away. I did pre-order Kirby today to play with the wife and kids, because I need a game to play with the wife on Switch. And then the other thing I pre-ordered today was Labo. So I pre-ordered the variety kit, or whatever they call it. Not the robot one, the other one that has like all the different ones. So that'll be coming. Yep. Yeah. So I'll be in Florida when it actually releases, and I get home like the day after. So I'll have it waiting for me when I get home. Planning on doing a whole bunch of cool stuff with that and some other people to be announced later. But if you follow on Twitter, you already know.
Justin Warner. Spoiler alert.
Spoilers. But I am still looking forward to Yoshi. I'm surprised we haven't heard more about it, because it looked really done at E3 when they showed it. Like, it looked more done than Kirby did, and yet we're getting Kirby right away. So I think they're holding that for a fall release, but I'm looking forward to that. And then the things we don't know that I'm really hoping we get, Pikmin. Hello. You said 3 years ago it was near being done, and we haven't seen it. And
Animal Crossing.
Yes. But I don't think we're going to get that this year. I think a Pikmin 4 stealth announcement release is far more likely in a shorter time frame than Animal Crossing.
They have done some like patents or trademarks for new Animal Crossing stuff. So I think it's sooner than we think.
Sooner than we think, but translation for that takes a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the biggest problem with that one. But yeah, hoping we see Pikmin 4, and then the ever constant hope of me seeing Mother 3. That's always out there as well. Jason.
I really want to see a UI, some UI change up, or some sort of QOL, quality of life improvement on the Switch. I'm really eager to get more details on the online service. If that comes, what we're getting. So those things to look forward to. Game wise, this is a tough year for me, because I don't really know what I am really looking forward to or what I want to see coming. Like, I want to be wrong. I don't think we're gonna get Smash this year. I hope I'm wrong. I just don't. I don't see that coming. I love it. Let's face it. I love it, but I don't know. I want to play Shakedown Hawaii finally.
Oh God, yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
I feel like that's my next Owlboy, because I keep talking about that game so much. But this one, I don't know if it's gonna be good. It could come out, it could be a stinker, and I'm just like, oh, I'm never gonna hear the end of that from everybody.
Yeah, it's gonna be just as good as Retro City Rampage, I think.
I hope so,
and that's good enough for me, at least.
Other than that, I don't know. There's not I can't think of too many other big first party titles that get me excited about. I've never played Pikmin. So
really,
I feel weird just jumping in.
It's a tough sell if you haven't played them.
I enjoyed the game. I think I always want to play one, but I just think it's gonna be is it gonna be weird jumping in when not playing any of the other games?
Yeah.
And I think Animal Crossing would be awesome. I never played an Animal Crossing on a console, so hopefully that changes. I love New Leaf, so
I mean, the only good one on a console was the original one on GameCube. I think I was
The
not a
original
fan
one,
of
for
the.
sure.
I was not
Yeah.
a fan of the Wii one.
City
at
Folk
all.
was
Kind of garbo, I
basically a glorified like extra DLC to Wild World.
It really was. And Wild World, I didn't even like that much. But yeah, Jason, I'm telling you, man, the only way we don't get Smash this year is if they actually give us a new Smash. That's in my mind. That's the only way we don't get it this year.
I don't think they need to give us a new one either. I think
No, they don't.
There's such a good baseline from the Wii U version. They can just revamp and toss in a couple stages, a couple characters, and call it
Exactly. Throw in the stages, throw a couple new stages, couple new characters, throw in the DLC, ship it out for $60. You're good to go.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention, I am looking forward to seeing, which supposedly is supposed to happen this month, rewards for our Switch with the Nintendo points.
That's
They
supposed to
promised
happen.
us we get some. They said we
You're
were
going to be able to
supposed
get
stuff.
Blaster Master for 30% off.
That's what's going to happen. They promised us by the time these coins would expire, so we're looking really, really soon at this point.
Yep.
That we'd be able to redeem for rewards on the Switch because we're getting all these rewards by buying stuff on the Switch and we haven't seen it. Sorry, Donnie, your turn as well. What are you looking forward to in 2018 and what do you hope you see in 2018?
So 2018 pre-orders are so far Yoshi, Kirby, Runner 3, Mario Aces, Hyrule Warriors, the definitive edition. So I'm pretty locked and loaded for at least a good bit here.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to play. I'm actually really excited to play Hyrule Warriors, and I'm going to say that and I mean it. Like I know we've played it before.
Yeah. Are you going to dip on Tropical Freeze as well?
No.
I know you got your Wii U back, so I mean
That's why I own it.
Yeah.
I have it. I had it digitally back in the day. I just re-downloaded it. I have got it. So
Right.
I won't unless it's got to drop way down. You know, it's like
Funky Kong, bro.
Funky Kong, man.
Yeah, I'm not paying $60 for Funky Kong. Now, you know what? And I don't mean to say that like that's a rule. If Wind Waker HD came to Switch, I'd $60. Yep, I'd buy it again. That's not a problem. So I mean, that's just with Tropical Freeze, I've got a Pro controller, I got a Wii U, I can play it. So, what I'm looking forward to, well, I guess there's a couple more unannounced games that I'm looking forward to. Hollow Knight. I've been kind of following the development of that one closely for a while. The Shovel Knight DLC that we're still waiting for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shovel Knight Amiibo.
Wargroove, like the
I forgot about the
Advance
Wars.
I always
Advance
think I keep-
Wars
I always
fan of
forget
me
about
is
that one.
really trying to follow that one. Is there one? I feel like there's maybe another one. But no, I mean, so the ones that we know are coming that I'm excited about, Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's like my one. That's the one for this year that I can't wait to see. I think we'll see it at E3. I mean, they said it was 2018.
For sure.
Considering how they make those games and how fast they can make those games, relatively speaking, compared to other games, I don't have any concerns that it's slipping. I think it is this fall, which makes me think that Pokemon's not. I actually think Pokemon gets shown at E3. Like, that'd be my prediction. I think we see Pokemon, and I think Pokemon launches in the spring. There's like a weird
That
thing.
would be-
I think
that
Pokemon
would
goes in
be-
March.
I don't know. It's the first time that it wouldn't have been during a holiday, though. And
here's
it's like their big holiday seller.
Pokemon's
Well,
launched in the spring before.
I think you either get Fire Emblem or you get Pokemon. They're not going to release those two that close, I feel like.
And I absolutely 100% agree with Kevin that we're getting Smash. We're getting a Smash upgraded port, and it's coming this fall, and it's going to launch with that online service. Like, they have to.
It has to, because what else are they launching with that? They need something to launch with.
And the funny thing that makes me, again, because I listened to our old episodes, the funny thing that we all said the same thing about Virtual Console, which was like the huge thing.
True.
We were like,
Yeah.
like this Direct's going to pass without Virtual. Like, we made jokes about it. We were like, come on. And we still don't have Virtual Console, but we will. We will by this time next year. We'll have Virtual Console. It's going to launch with that service. So, I mean, I fully anticipate them launching Virtual Console Smash, that service, and Fire Emblem in the fall. And that's a really good fall. It's not their best fall, but that's a really good fall, especially if they give you the carrot on the stick. And that carrot on the stick is Pokemon in April. And nobody cares. Like, everybody's like, fine, I'll play Smash and Fire Emblem until Pokemon arrives. And, they give you that teaser from Metroid. They show us a game slice. Like, you can kind of see it, right? So, like, they'll show you these ports, get you to E3. At E3, they're going to hit us with one game we don't know about, probably Pikmin. Yep. Pikmin's a really good guess, right? They're going to hit you with one game we know about. That's Smash. Jason, telling you now. A year in advance. You're gonna be playing Smash by the end of the year.
I want to be wrong. Trust me.
That's Smash, and the Smash is huge. That's their big get for this year, Smash, and it's a port, and it's still huge because it's on new hardware. Yeah, and they'll throw a new character or something in there. You know, like the other thing I was saying about like all the licensing and everything that Smash has. If they went to a new one, like they just can't like carry Cloud down the road, right? But if they port Smash, they can carry Cloud and just add to Cloud. So Smash is coming. Smash is coming this year. And then they throw Fire Emblem, and then they show you a Pokemon, which I think, like Fire Emblem, gets a quick turnaround. And then they just, hey, and here's that Metroid thing. Keep buying games until we show you more.
Yeah, it'd be like I see like a full motion video trailer for Metroid being like the ending.
Maybe like just like an idea of the game concept or like a story. Like, here's what we're going for. It's like a reboot or a prequel. Yeah, they'll do something like that. Throw some third parties in. Call of Duty or something shows up, and we're off to the races. Yeah.
Now you're talking crazy talk.
I think Call of Duty comes this year. Call of Duty and Madden.
I think so too.
Call of Duty and Madden will Switch this year.
I'm taking Tuesday off this year for live streaming on E3.
Oh, so we have another one. Yeah. Joining the Donnie E3 vacation parade.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Kevin, you want to do it too?
Do it again? We shall see. I have to check and see what my vacation plans are. So.
All right. I got the PC this year. This year we can do it bigger and better than we did.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Oh. All right. I think
no cursing in front of the kids this year.
Well, that was on YouTube. That doesn't count. If it's not on the podcast feed, it doesn't matter. YouTube's Wild West. That doesn't
matter. It's in front of your children.
People show all kinds of crazy stuff on YouTube.
No. But your kids were actually standing there. What she's saying.
You've never heard him play Mario Kart with them before.
That's true. My kids don't.
It's okay. I'll probably be the same way.
All right, so I think that caps our discussion on what was probably a landmark milestone year for Nintendo, where they went from being kind of almost the joke of the video game industry, to be honest, to all eyes on them.
It is amazing how far they came. You remember that year before? The countless articles like Nintendo's dead, go third party, like that. That was nonstop for like 18 months.
Yep, nobody's saying anything now.
Nope. None of that conversation. Nintendo should only make games anymore. So that's now you have other people making games for Nintendo. Like you have Ubisoft saying, "Hey, can we please use Mario?"
Ubisoft,
like
seriously.
I mean, so that's a big deal. So hopefully, we wish Nintendo continued success. Obviously, not only from us here in the Nintendo Shack, but from all of PSVG. So it's all good for everybody. The better everybody does, the better it is for gaming in general. So
it's true. Hang on, did you see the Blizzard tweet that everybody's?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
What happened?
Looks like Diablo 3 might be.
Yeah, Blizzard put on it's a nightlight.
It's just like the Hearthstone tweet,
demon. No, that's true, and it's lit up, and somebody comes by and switches it off, and then switches it back on, and then switches it off. So they're all saying Diablo 3 on Switch because they were switching.
Ah.
It may or may not mean anything, but
here's the only thing that really matters, because I'll ask you this question and we'll get out of here. We still have a couple minutes. Is anybody getting Dark Souls? I'm not.
Nope.
No.
It's not my game.
I wonder if that has an issue, but Kevin, you've played it before already. Would you buy Diablo 3 on Switch? Because I would.
Diablo 3, I would. I mean,
Diablo
I wouldn't pay
portably
60, but I don't
awesome.
think it would come out for 60. So I
love Diablo.
Yeah,
portable Diablo sounds amazing.
Yeah,
it does. It really does. So I mean,
it really does.
Serious.
Yeah,
that's it.
Especially if they give you all the DLC content, so it kind of makes sense. So.
That's true too. That's true. All right, so before we leave, guys, as always, where can people find you, Mr. Lacey?
I am on the Twitterverse at JW Lacey. I do another podcast, Fluxpose. You can check that out as well. And I'm always on the Discord. Always on the Discord.
This is
my
true.
Watchful Eye. I will banhammer you, though, if I need to.
Have we had to do that yet to anybody?
Yes. Yeah, we had some weirdos that joined up randomly one time. It was really weird.
I mean,
really
Tyler just changed his name and he came right back in, though. So I mean,
that's a long story.
Fair enough. Caroline, where can people find you and your lovely new icon on Twitter?
Ooh.
Yeah, I drawed a thing at the Nintendo, like the girl Dame, and I hop in the Discord whenever I feel like it.
Basically, only when to tell us something Nintendo related is out when we had already talked about it like 3 days earlier, but she didn't see it. So
shut up.
Where's my picture?
It's coming. I promise. Like, I will turn these out like as I can. So
never. No, just kidding. Donnie, where can people find you?
You can find me over there on Twitter at Playing Nintendo, or follow us on PSVG. My 2018 resolution is to remind everybody to tell a friend about the network. Just tweet them with us random. Just tell them like, hey, these guys make podcasts. We make so many podcasts, by the way.
We do.
The amount that I had to scroll today to get to last year's, so many podcasts.
So many shows. There's bound to be something somebody would like that we offer. So yeah, I echo Donnie's things. Tell a friend, tell an enemy.
Ooh, yeah. Why not?
Like, hey, listen to this podcast, and don't tell them that every single day a new episode will drop into their feed until their phone fills up and they can no longer play Candy Crush.
Why are there separate feeds? I can't take it.
I want to subscribe to 10 different things, not just one. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter at PSVG Kevin. Head over to the website, placeofvideogames.com. You can find all of our great content, our reviews, our podcasts, if you want to listen to them that way, as well as our videos for some gameplay footage and other fun stuff. Some drunken tirades from Tyler. All the fun stuff is all at placeofvideogames.com. So thank you, boys and girls, children of all ages, for listening to Nintendo Shack. For this week, we are out. Never stop gaming.
This has been a production of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network. Find more great content at playsomevideogames.com.